Gentlemen, welcome back to Dallas Insider, where every beat, every rumor, every pulse of Cowboys Nation gets amplified. Today, we dive into a story that connects the past, shakes the present, and might just define the future of this franchise. It's about legacy, criticism, change, and a squad on the brink of becoming something more. Let me take you on this journey. Close your eyes for a moment and picture 1994, the confetti raining down in Atlanta, families flooding the field, a brotherhood of champions. That era still lives in memory, and few figures represented more than Troy Aikman. In a recent episode of The Family Business, Aikman reflected on those days, bringing Stephanie Turner onto the field, handing her his wristband, and etching a memory forever. But as he remembers, the joy had a dual edge. Even in those halcyon years, Aikman says, some inside the organization didn't fully grasp just how rare and beautiful it was. He recounts that when Norv Turner and his family departed for Washington, a certain light left the locker room too. Aikman admitted that Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson may not have appreciated early success because it arrived so quickly. Others, like Norv, did. And that reflection cuts deep. Even greatness can be taken for granted. Fast forward to today, Troy Aikman, one of the most respected voices in this sport, hasn't held back. He's pointed at Jerry Jones and said something many fans felt, that sometimes attention, drama, or optics have weighed heavier than winning. Aikman's criticisms haven't just floated in the ether, they've landed. From calling receivers lazy or saying route running must improve, to his broader frustrations over the Parsons trade, he's pressed on what this franchise stands for. And Jones? He hasn't flinched. He's acknowledged Aikman's credibility and tried to walk the tightrope between defending his roster and embracing accountability. That tension between past glory and future dreams is the kind of friction that forges greatness. Of course, no story is more present in Dallas than the departure of Micah Parsons. The All-Pro edge rusher asked out of Dallas and in a blockbuster deal was shipped to Green Bay for 2 first-round picks and Kenny Clark. Micah Parsons was not just a pass rusher, he was a symbol, a disruptor, a generational talent. Without him, the identity of this defense has wobbled. The gaps are noticeable, the pressure isn't what it used to be. But a void is also an invitation. Dallas now has draft capital. They have to rebuild the edge. And Jones has publicly declared he's open for business as trade talk swirls. If this organization moves smart, courageous, and with purpose, they can write a new chapter that matches the stakes of their legacy. Let's talk numbers and reality. This season, the Cowboys' defense has shown serious cracks, especially against the pass. Their secondary looks vulnerable. Their schemes are being exposed. You don't compete at the highest level if quarterbacks can roam free. The urgency to act is not optional, it's existential. Rumors swirl. Could Dallas target Bradley Chubb, a veteran edge rusher who's had injury issues but still shows flashes of dominance? Or is the more logical path to shore up the secondary first, perhaps hunting a guy like Greg Newsome II to plug gaps out wide while building the pass rush later? Some analysts suggest pairing internal strengths like Clark with veteran additions like Clowney to shore the middle and edge simultaneously. Meanwhile, on the linebacker front, names like Eric Kendricks have entered whispers. His leadership and consistency could be exactly what this defense needs to steady itself mid-storm. Here's where the path forks. One direction, you cling to pride, await the draft, hope young players spontaneously grow into stars overnight. The other, you lean into your assets, your demands, your identity. You say, not quietly, but loudly, that Dallas is in the market. You say you won't apologize for being bold. Because this team, this Dallas Cowboys, deserves that. The city demands that. The history demands that. And more than anything, the players and coaches deserve that. Under Brian Schottenheimer, the offense is humming. The pieces are there. But to climb beyond mediocrity, you need a defense that demands respect. You need additions that shift momentum, that change how opponents game plan. So what do I believe? I believe Dallas will make the move. I believe they'll strike before the deadline. I believe they'll reintroduce fear into opposing quarterbacks. I believe they will embrace this tension between legacy and expectation and let it fuel a new standard. Troy Aikman's voice may echo through time, calling out what must change. But the team that answers him is not one of the past. They are the future. Cowboys Nation, we stand at a moment of decision. Does Jerry Jones lean into image, or does he lean into victory? Do we watch our defense limp through the rest of the season, or do we swing for reinforcements? I believe the move is coming. I believe it will be bold, and I believe Dallas will rise. Now I want you in this story. Do you think the Cowboys will make a blockbuster trade and restore dominance? Which names excite you? Chubb, Kendricks, Newsom, or someone entirely different? Comment below. If you felt that fire in your chest reading this, hit like and subscribe to Dallas Insider because we're only getting started. Stay sharp, Cowboys Nation. This story is far from over.